and welcome to Mars Musings this week. In the last couple of weeks, it's really been the focus since Chinese New Year on finances. The first one was on allocating our budget, how we're spending it, and then also looking at savings and what we do with our savings, what different buckets we put it in, and how we're really organizing our finances. And of course, the next step, which is a bit more intricate, comes to investing. I'm not going to at all say that I'm an expert in this, nor give you any investment advice. There's so much out there, but I'm hoping to partner, and we're in the makings of doing this with another financial coach, also a woman from the finance industry in London, to really bring something out that's like your path to financial well-being, where we can address all these parts in it to start opening it. And really, once we have our savings there, once we're at this point where we want to look at investing, it's a big step forward. I think compounded interest is like the one thing that everyone talks about. Warren Buffett, everyone else, allowing interest to really keep being reinvested to making more interest. That's like the base rule to finance of course, growing money or allowing it to expand. But when we are looking at investing, there's so many different things to consider. First is your risk profile, how much risk you're willing to take. Of course, it goes from really little risk and interest to interest earned to much larger risk. Like, for example, people are saying like crypto, it's huge, it's fluctuating, it's a new whole asset class or a new market space where it's technically been unregulated and we don't know some of the things that are coming up. So that, of course, can eat away all your capital, and just depending on how much you're willing to take in that risk and how much you need that money in terms of your, let's say, future retirement or what else, we can consider that. It's also like how much time you want to spend on it. Me for myself, I see that it's just, since I've been a trader, not at all healthy for me to be checking the stock market, my investments. I really don't resonate with it anymore so much. It brings out another side in me, and I prefer to just put it aside with medium to longer term investments. But of course, some people trade daily and they look at it every day. They're putting investments into different buckets, and so that's really up to you. Some people just give it to a banker and allow them to manage it, and there's other ways of managing it yourself now with online tools and platforms. So these are all different things I would say to consider. And of course, then also you come down to where you're investing in, what asset classes. Is it real estate, down to equities? Everyone has a crazy story about investing, saying, oh, I know someone who lost everything in there. I think I mentioned this last week, where we've all maybe had an uncle, auntie, someone who's lost all their fortune in the stock market, which is of course going up and down, but over time it's trending, versus just keeping our money aside or not really putting it into things. So I'm really urging, and I have been even last week, for you to start looking at where you're putting money and how you can start investing, even if it's tiny bits. A lot of the women I do coach, they're really setting up their purpose businesses, or really starting to put themselves out in the world. So investing isn't, let's say, at the forefront of it at the moment, but it is where we get to, and it is where we're kind of calling the money and energy in. So I'm inviting you to start thinking, what kind of buckets can you open up? How much can you even put aside? I even made a post recently. It's €5 twice a day, which is maybe your coffee. But that invested in the stock market, the S&P, I think it was over 30 years, would make you over $1 million. It was a crazy number that was calculated by someone online. And I just thought, you know what? Like, these are little steps. When I was a trader, I remember there were huge fluctuations in the market. And I made a calculation saying, okay, if I made 100, 2, 3, 400K a day, which isn't a lot as a trader, especially making markets, really trading with larger currencies, and I banked that every day, by the end of the year, I'd get so much more. And I realized it was the little steps of getting there. Whereas some of the men I was trading with, they were trading up a few million a day, down, losing it, bucket rolling around. And I was like, this is so stressful. And at the end of the year, you don't even know if you've gotten there. And so I know I am a rat in the Chinese horoscope, a little mouse, but I did feel like these little steps there really allowed us to grow, really allowed me to grow my portfolio and my investments. And I feel that's the little steps that we can start taking in life to get us into a new mindset, a new financial frame, and start like putting that money aside and investing and looking at where we can go slowly with that. Hope this inspires a little bit about investing, and I hope that we will be launching something really soon about the path to financial well-being, to really looking at these concrete tools to kind of building up your personal finance wellness. So if this is something that interests you, please write back to me. Please let me know where you are in your journey. I'm really willing to incorporate this, to learn more, and to also create something that feels really valuable for you to learn and to put your foundations down for your finances.